first we want to talk about this. White House giving the GOP a week to reach a deal on infrastructure. Eamon Javers, whose ears were burning earlier, we talked about you. I thought about you immediately with this cyber attacks. We need you like every day on that beat. But you're going to talk. Let's start with this. This other stuff. Something. Yeah, but this is infrastructure.
Yeah, let's start with the Transportation Secretary, Pete Buttigieg, yesterday, or over the weekend, I should say, setting this deadline now of June 7th, saying that the Republicans have about a week after they come back from their Memorial Day recess, which they're on this week, to come together with Democrats and cut a deal here. Otherwise, the administration is hinting that they're going to have to move on unilaterally on infrastructure. Take a look at the math and you see sort of what the problem is. The problem is they're way off in terms of the numbers. Republican senators want a $928 billion infrastructure plan. Biden has proposed $1.7 trillion. And you look at those numbers and you say, okay, they're not too far apart, except the Republican plan only includes about $250 billion in new spending. A lot of their numbers are repurposed other spending. So the gap here is like $1.4 trillion overall. Sticking points are huge, including the corporate tax rate, green energy, even the definition of infrastructure itself has been contentious in this negotiation. So the administration is saying, you know, look, we're going to work with you for another week or so. At some point, though, they're hinting that they're going to have to move on and maybe try the budget reconciliation process in which they believe they could pass this with only Democratic votes. We'll see if they can do that, if they can get their own caucus all together in order to do that. It would be a massive thing to do on your own. The president has said he would prefer to have a bipartisan negotiation with Republicans. But if they can't bring the Republicans on board, they do have this other option, guys. So watch for that.
More and more we're hearing that as the country is reopening, Eamon, you watch some of the sporting events, and it's like so great. But people are out. Yeah. And you wonder how much time. You can't wait too long if you're the Biden administration, because I know infrastructure is not related to pandemic relief per se, but you still can't drag your feet on this, or people are going to say, we spent enough money. Let's start thinking about not just busting the bank on pandemic relief, and they better move, right?
Yeah, I think that's true. And look, the other clock that's ticking here is just the reality of the political clock, right? I mean, Biden knows that he may never have as much clout as he has right now politically. He might not have the majorities after the midterm elections next year. So this is his moment to do everything that he wants to do and get as much done as he can. This year is passing pretty, we are in June already, believe it or not. So they know that they've got a limited window to get this done. It's not the 4 years of your term. It's really the first year of the term where you have the most clout to do the most legislating. And even with these thin margins, they know that they might not have this much clout going forward. So if they're going to do this, they're going to have to do it now. And to your point, that sense of urgency around the pandemic is also an important one. And as that fades, that'll take some of the urgency away from doing this project altogether.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.